Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. It is April 2nd, 4/2, and we are getting coded headlines by the second. This terrorist attack in Kenya, as reported, was first reported late last night. West Coast time, it was still April 1st. I wrote about it a little bit on the blog. But April 2nd, Kenya. And this attack comes just days after Obama announced that he would be going to Kenya for the first time as president of the United States. His father died there in the year 82. That's 33 years earlier. There's a lot of speculation from truth seekers that Obama was born in Kenya. It should be noted that there is a Hawaii, Kenya, just like the 50th and final state. Hawaii has the Pythagorean gematria of 33. Anyway, the details now are that the terrorists killed 70. Last night when I was watching, the details were that they killed 2 and 4 were injured, and then they made a point that there might be more. I'm surprised that the number jumped up to 70, but this number 70 fits into the theme that I was already seeing last night. So let's get into it. Why 70? Again, the President of the United States is traveling to Kenya in July. The date in July has not been given, just the month. That's the 7th month of the year. The word president with simple English gematria sums to 110. This is a number of much significance. The World Trade Centers were 110 stories tall, proposed by the Rockefellers. The name Rockefeller equals 110. The attack on September 11th was blamed on Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden equals 110. Well, so does the number 70. The number 70 has a simple English gematria of 110, just like president. And I was already thinking this story was coded for the president before I saw this number 70. So this just adds more credence to my theory. Let me show you why I was already thinking president. If you've seen the story, it happened at Garissa University. Garissa, with S exceptions, that's where you compress each letter one time, sums to 47. Just like the word president with Pythagorean gematria. The word president with simple English is 110. With Pythagorean gematria, it's 47. On 9/11, buildings 1 and 2 were 110 stories tall. The third building to fall, building 7, was 47 floors tall. And do you know what the name Osama bin Laden equals with Pythagorean gematria? Yes, it equals 47. It's just like president. Garissa, simple English gematria, sums to 74, the flip of 47. The World Trade Centers were on the 74th meridian. The number of sacrifice, the number of the martyr. Those buildings existed for 33 years. Jesus and cross equals 74. Jesus is said to have been crucified at 33. The group it's blamed on is Al-Shabaab, which has a simple English gematria of 47, just like Garissa, the university with S exceptions. These numbers coded so heavily. Kenya has a gematria of 56. 56 is what president sums to with the S exception, just like Osama bin Laden with the S exception. Notice that 110, 47, and 56 all reduced to 11 and 2 in numerology. Very important numbers. The first flight to hit the World Trade Centers was Flight 11. Their numbers are used in all of their hoaxes, and yes, Truth Seeker, I'm saying the shooting in Kenya is another hoax. The conspiracy I am exposing is an international conspiracy. Since my earliest video posts, I've explained how the New World Order is an old world order, continually growing, suffocating us more and more. April 2nd, 4/2 is a lot like the number 42, the meaning of life number. Today's date, 4/2/15, produces a numerology of 21. And the other way, it produces a numerology of 14, like dead and end. Here's the imagery they've given us, showing us Garissa, not far from Nairobi. Gunman storm University in Kenya, 30 hospitalized. That was the report when I put up this image. Now they're saying 70 dead. The numbers jumped way up in the hours. The other thing I want to point out, Truth Seeker, is that from the day of the shooting to July 1st, the month that Obama's going there, I don't know if he's speaking July 1st or at the end of the month or what. It hasn't been said. But from 4/2 to July 1st is a span of 90 days. 90 is an interesting number because only it and 16 sum to 33 in Gematria. So that's that story, the Kenyan shooting. It seems to be very much connected to the President of the United States, coded with all of our regular numbers. I'm surprised they didn't mention Boko Haram too. Boko Haram has the Gematria of 39, another important number from the Old Testament. Also, for some related headlines, this is coming out of NYC on April 2nd. N is the 14th letter, Y is the 25th, C is the 3rd. Add them together, it sums to 42, a lot like the date 4/2. And we're getting this story of two ISIS-inspired women arrested for bomb plot in New York City. Their names are Noelle Valenzas and Asia Siddiqui. Very weird names. With Gematria, this name generates 61, 70. We saw that number again today. And 88. Asia Siddiqui creates Gematria 47 and 56. Numbers we just saw in the Kenya story. Also, 77, like the American Meridian. So, they watching this story on the news, they said these women have been building their bomb plot for more than a year, and they were just arrested today. What I find interesting is our media has only been reporting about ISIS since July of 2014. So somehow these women heard about ISIS before our media even let them know about it. Just signs of how these stories do not add up. Women inspired by ISIS before it was even in our consciousness. How could it be? And another headline today is that Robert H. Scholler died at the age of 88. Very curious number. He was the Hour of Power televangelist. Lived a long, wealthy life of exploiting Christians. Christians, they sure like to get exploited, don't they? Put themselves out there for quite a few dishonest people. The name Robert H. Scholler sums to 76, just like the word master. Of course, Robert's that 33 name we see so much. We've been seeing a lot of Robert Durst in the media. His killings date back to 82, 33 years ago. The name Durst equals 82. One hoax after another, coded by the numbers. Hour of Power, interestingly enough, produces the Gematria of 70. We've talked about that in all three news stories now. 70 dead in Kenya, Hour of Power, 70. Interesting. He was born September 16th, 1926. What did we just say about the number 16? One of the only numbers that sums to 33. His birthday produces life numbers of 34 and 51. 34 is the 9th Fibonacci number of life. 51, the number of conspiracy, and a whole lot more. Number of much importance. If you missed my video on the Confederate South, it's centered around the numbers 33, 11, and 51. He died today, April 2nd, 2015. Word Bible equals 21. This guy's a Christian televangelist. And another story that they talked about today, they've talked about yesterday and days before. I just want to show you this revelation I had about it. They're doing two stories, related stories, a woman who runs a pizza shop and a woman who runs a cake shop. One's name is Crystal O'Connor, a name with 66 Gematria. The other one's name is Christian Baker. Another name was 66 Gematria. This is about a woman who bakes cakes, Christian Baker. And what it made me realize is when I saw that both their names broke down to 66 and the story was about how they're denying services to gay people because of their Christian spirituality, it made me realize that the word Christians, using the S exception, sums to 66. And of course, most Bibles are of 66 books. So even the religious freedom law, it's all part of the coding hoax. What I said right away is, what business owner would turn away anyone? I mean, so long as they weren't detracting from their business. And I don't think somebody coming in to pick up a cake or a pizza is going to make that big a difference. You'd have to find a very special business owner to turn away business. It's just most business owners have money on their mind and not much else. So there you have it, Truth Seeker. More coding by the numbers. I think this story factors in to the Obama assassination plot. More and more clues every day about what's coming to our 44th president. All right, Truth Seeker. Until next time. Encore, Truth Seeker. I just saw that there's supposed to be a breakthrough in Iran, European Union, United States nuclear talks. Truth Seeker, if you don't know so already, the word nuclear equals 74. The word weapon equals 74. The word energy equals 74. And of course, that's no coincidence. That's a very important number to the powers that be. If you think every word sums to 74 and this is some trick, you're mistaken. Out of the 50 states, only one has a gematria of 74. It is the 33rd state, Oregon. Why is that curious? Because Jesus and cross sum to 74, as do several other spellings of Jesus, including Yeshua and Joshua, the English translation. But get this, you have to see what a joke our world is. The gematria of Iran is 42. And what is today's date? April 2nd, 4-2. Remember, this deal was supposed to be reached. The deadline was days ago. And it got extended to when? Oh, till today, 42, April 2nd, 4-2. Iran equals 42, meaning of life number. And who's giving us that it's going to go through? Javad Zarif, Iranian foreign minister. What's his name, gematria? Javad's 11, Zarif's 33. 11 plus 33 is 44. You know, Truth Seeker, as I continue to say, this is an international conspiracy. The New World Order was established a long time ago. What we witness in our news are puppets playing their part. And we've been being hoaxed our whole life. All of this stuff is way older than any of us. So that's the encore. Iran nuke talk breakthrough on 4-2 for Iran 42. All right, Truth Seeker.